my people. What's up, everyone? It is Uncle Burnsy. We are here again, trying to get back into some Citizen Sleeper 2. Hopefully y'all doing good out there. Before we start, like, subscribe on the YouTube side of things. Follow on the Twitch side if you want some more of that content. Otherwise, let's get into it. I'm actually excited to get right back into Citizen Sleeper 2 every time. Okay. Last time on Citizen Sleeper Z, we actually made it to the scatter yards. And we have a mission to basically go and continue that. We're actually stuck. So we're actually like, we gotta go now. Like, there is no wait, there is no anything. Like, we gotta go now. Can't help our friend here, but I think we need to let's just go on ahead. Actually, let me make sure we're good on food before we go. Let's buy us a meal. Got a lot of cryo. What I can't do is get rid of that stress. I screwed myself over, but hey, that's what we're doing here. So, just to kind of catch us up at where we're doing, we're trying to do the recon Darkside. And that's just for Seraphine and them to recon it and basically take the fight back to LAine. Otherwise, I was trying to do Hexport with Cadet, but I ran out of time last time, so. And then we got a nice little mission for repainting the rig, which requires us to travel all over the belt. And apparently there's an achievement for finding all the designs out there, so I'm actually kind of stoked. I think they already messed with our rig. So here's our current color set, or color scheme right now, which is basically advertising for their business. But I mean, it's better than whatever it was before. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's go out to Darkside Recon. So we got Marco here. Sounds like he might even be part of the crew. So what is he doing for us? He has intuition, and he has, I think this is enduring. I don't know if we will need, I don't know if we need like intuition, because at the very least I might just take I actually just now realized how much stress everyone has here. So like Junie's stress is at 4, everyone else has like 6. So Bliss, they got going on, they had intuition and engineering. I'm just gonna probably take Eugen on this one, because that's also bringing, I think, endure, which we don't have the minus on anymore, but it'll be good to have him on that as well. I don't know if we need anything tech related. That's the only thing. But if so, I can at least make up for that now, because Junie she can only do that. So let's go to the contract, confirm the crew. Let's continue this story. The freighter hangs over the ragged shipyard as the rig idles in the dock. Your eyes trace the fuel lines snaking up to its underside, where they disappear into the dark. A chirp from the pilot's console breaks the silence. Marco's signal. This is it, Sleeper. Seraphine settles back from the controls of the rig. He looks over his shoulder at you. You better get going. Don't get too bored. I'll do my best. He smirks. Hope they have something to drink in the yard. You glide towards the back of the cockpit. Seraphine clears his throat. Just don't do anything reckless, all right? As you float down the corridor towards the airlock, Marco comes to meet you, his usual gear, swapped out for a plain set of overalls that you imagine are borrowed from the freighter crew. You ready to go, Sleeper? The crew we're replacing are already in the yard, so the sooner we get on board, the better. He gives you a look. How are you feeling? Concerned, just confident? He smiles. That's what I like to hear. No reason not to be. He pats you on the shoulder as you cross into the airlock, because I hope nothing goes wrong, but we'll see. The airlock cycles and Marco leads you into the yard through a series of shadowy passages that connect the 2 docking bridges. Now's the time, Sleeper. Marco says as you work your way through the yard. Any questions, any concerns, speak up now. What do we do when we get there? Will we have to pass any checks? Yes. He shrugs. This freighter is a known ship to Utsubo. It makes this route on a regular basis. They have no reason to suspect it. You reach a vertical tunnel and start ascending. At the docks, we'll probably have to give some enforcers a nod and a smile, but that's it. You come out the entrance to the other docking tunnel, the freighter filling the viewing window so all you can see are the plates of its scratched hull. What's up, Captain? Eugen is waiting for you by the docking bridge, squeezed into an ill-fitting set of crew overalls. Like the undercover look? Suits you. He mock bows a little. After you, he gestures to the docking bridge. You hit the button to open the doors and glide towards the freighter's airlock. As you do, the fear settles in. You are going back to Darkside. Yeah, we doing. Ooh, good roll. That's a good starting roll, though. Darkside sprawls out across the starscape. Its surface a vast and random accumulation of structures, lights, and signs. You have watched it as a freighter cut across the belt, as it grew, cycle by cycle, like a stain across the cockpit glass. Watching it approach, the fragmented memories of your time there pass through your mind, each one dissolving the moment you try to focus on it. Only the sensations remain: despair, claustrophobia, fear, all somehow strengthened by their disconnected nature. It's as if, by not being attached to specific memories, they can run free through your mind, as alive as they were in the first moments of feeling. Instructions received. Appreciate it. Marco's in the pilot seat, talking to the port authority. Incoming to strut 2-3. He turns back to you, clicking off the outgoing comms channel. First step complete. We've got docking approval, as expected. He raises his eyebrows, noticing something in your face. Keep it together, all right? I got this. I'm fine. Good. He turns back to the controls. You feel a punch on your shoulder, and you look across the cockpit to see a grinning Eugen. Chin up, sleeper. I mean, like, someone's got to be a realist in this one. I mean, you know, come on. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'll keep you safe. He shoots a look at the back of Marco's head, no matter who comes from you. He winks and leans back in his seat. You know Eugen got our back. So, there's a hollow rumble to the body of the freighter as Marco brings it into the dock. The noises of this draftier, more industrial ship differ to those of your rig, and you haven't quite got used to them yet. A squawk of noise over the comm sends Marco scrabbling at the controls to submit the docking code he was sent just moments before. There is an agonizing wait, and then a chirp as the code is accepted. The freighter is docked. Alright, let me go out first, talk to the dockers, start the unloading. He unclips from his seat. Then you're good to go. Okay, I'll wait. He nods. Alright, hold fast, and he glides out of the cockpit without waiting for a response. You hold your nerve, looking out the flickering lights and distant traffic. The airlock clunks open and closed again. Time drags on. I hope I'm wearing like a full hoodie, like because I'm a sleeper and stuff like that. I don't know, something. You turn your attention to the job ahead, seeing it stretched out in front of you. Darkside seems impossibly vast, too vast to find a specific person, but just to find a type of person, someone unhappy with Subo's gains, ready to risk their life to change this place and push to a point of desperation or anger. That might be a lot more doable. But first, you must understand Utsubo. See how they run this place, where they meet, what they talk about, find where Tsubo is weakest, and find where they can be broken. And think about the pressure that might be applied, not just by you, but by all of Darkside. Eugen absent-mindedly spins a metal bottle in the air, first one way, then the other, the slap of the metal in his hand echoing through the cockpit with each catch. And just let him do it. The airlock cycles once more. And moments later, Marco's in the cockpit, sweat beating on his brow. He takes a moment, his mood uncharacteristically flustered. Well, I bent the truth a little back there, but I think we're good. He rants a hand over his hair, slicking it back into place. Luckily, I've had a lot of practice lying to dock workers. He gives you a wink. They'll begin unloading later this cycle, and they won't be in a rush. We have our time as promised, but the sudden interjection evaporates any relief you were feeling. Utsubo are watching these docks. That I know for sure. For now, we are just another freighter, but all our coming and going, that could be a problem. We can try to disable their monitoring, or just get the job done before it becomes an issue. I'll take a look, not a problem. Why didn't you say anything earlier? I didn't know earlier, but we know now. Either way, we need to get on with what we are doing. He folds his arms. Utsubo are everywhere, but we need to understand them to know what is happening inside their organization. We slip under their skin and find out how they work. And he looks to you. This is what I recommend. But now, sleeper, it is your time to lead. He folds his arms. Tell us where to begin. You feel the attention, the pressure shift to you. Time to find some allies. Time to find Usobu's weakness. Time to stop running and resist. So 1 crisis active per cycle. So we already got the 1 up. That is the crisis. We have 1, 2, 3. So we got 7 cycles to do this. Dock surveillance. So this is probably what is causing it to go. What he's basically saying is you can just try to push it. Dang. I bet you that's where we need stuff. So here's the rise. Utsubo territory. Man, it's gonna take a lot more than okay, let's see what we can do with the surveillance system here. Ooh, engineering. That works. I can bust down on this cut connections. That's what we're doing. I'm an engineer. Junie would have helped this, but hey, that's what we need is going dark. And I have 4s and 6s. That's what I'm talking about. Let's hold because that's a guaranteed 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that would mean we need 1 more. But I want to see what else we're working with out here. If we go to the wash gate, he can start doing a Docker debate right here, and Eugen can also help with this as well. Just that it's on danger though, so maybe some eavesdropping. Like I wouldn't use his 1 and 2s here, unfortunately. So at least we know Marco can help here. And if we go, we're gonna probably get some more locations unlocked as we go, but Marco can also help right here as well. So track enforcers and stuff like that. So we can start over here. Start at the wash gate. Let me put his 6 here, because with danger, that's gonna go 2. Ooh, that's 3 just for that? We can actually finish this, but I at least want to, well, I wouldn't say finish it. That's if I put all my stuff in there. But this dock surveillance system, I do want to work towards. I'm not gonna front with you on that one. I'm the only one that can do this too. Yeah, let's put all the stuff in here. If we had Junie here and she had a 6, this would have been, or a 4 or something like that. This is where I would risk it for the biscuits. But yeah, that 2 is going to turn into a 1. It's going to be a 1. I don't want to use this stuff because on the one hand, it could be positive, but on the other hand, it could be negative, and we might need that later on. So yeah, he can't even help here. I didn't even know that we were going to do some hacking, but tracking for sure. Us 2 can do that, but that danger, I think if that danger were to come up, it looks like it adds a crisis on it. So I'm not willing to risk that. Man, 1s and 2s suck. I'll tell you that much. Okay, cool. We can finish this one then. He has a 3. We can probably put his down, but let me just put my... I'm gonna put a 5, so we at least know it's a guaranteed success here. There we go. So now that's not gonna keep going unless we mess up. I am fine with that. Let's get down to business on shore leave. I can take a risk here. I'm gonna take a risk with his 3. Give me a neutral at least. I'll take it. I will take it. Thank RNGesus right there. Oh, whoa, I didn't mean that one. This one. Full positive. Really? I want my full positive though. Yuck. I could use a push, but I'd rather we just, let me see, got a 1. His 4 could help here. It could help. Let me see, let me try. Ouch. Okay. New location. We got Doctor's Rest. Okay, so that is also doing a cipher. Dang, we could have had Junie for this. And then him, he only has a 1. Where can I put your 4 at though, Eugen? You got a 4 here. Dang, he's not really useful anywhere. I feel like I'm always making the wrong decisions of who I take, man. Yeah, that's gonna turn it to a 2. I'm not trying to add to this. I don't know if I want to do a push yet. I might just to get stuff going. Let me see. +4 to my lowest dice, so they'll make this a 5. And if I get a positive, it'll go back 1 on the stress. I don't know if I want to use that here though, because then I have to worry about rolling a 1 and a 2. I'm gonna roll it. I'm gonna roll it and just not. I know we got like limited amount of supplies though. Dang. Okay. So Eugen has like a great number, but yeah, it's not enough here. So I can do. I'll work on the extract cipher side of things because it's risky. He can't help here. I'm gonna put his. Let me put his over here because he got a 5. He can help right here. Stress for him. And if he hits, that's neutral. Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to work somewhere. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. I'm gonna stay on this side of things. Oh my gosh. Yeah, let me get my successes down then. Okay, how do we want to do this? I'm gonna do a push. So that should bring it down by 1 again. Okay. So I'm not trying to have a game over this early in the game, man. His 6 is not gonna help us out here. I'm gonna put his 6 here. I'm risking it for the biscuits. Actually, not your 4. It doesn't really matter because it's all the same. I have a 4, but get something. Nice. You leave Docker's Rest with a Nutsubo passkey in hand, sure to get you inside one of their safe houses. Now the trick is to find one. You make your way through the docks, head down in the dark passageways. Sleeper, Eugen's voice has a rare nervous twinge to it. Marco's gone. You stop in the Darkside passageway you were drifting down, a quiet connection between two thoroughfares. You glance around at the loose bundles of wire and stained metal plates. It seems like a safe place to talk. He mentioned he had something to deal with and then he left. Eugen shakes his head, kicked off and ran out like Utsubo were about to boot the door in. You pause for a moment, unsure how to react. What's going on? Not a clue. I don't want to cast accusations, but it seems like some stanky shit to me. You take a moment, no need to panic. Marco brought you here, he'll get you out. You look down the corridor toward the busier, wider passage where people drift by. If you need to deal with something, then, well, he needed to deal with something. It doesn't mean anything, but you sure as hell wish he had given you a warning. No, for real. Give me a warning, bro. Surveilled and now shorthanded, this job is going from bad to worse. Oh, I'm glad I used this stuff. Okay. All right, we did our thing here. So now we just, oops, that's a lot. Now we have to move on to here. And he can't really do much here. It's just me that can do something. His 6 will be, this sucks because I don't know if it's gonna cause me to do a stress. Okay, I'll take that. I don't know if I'm gonna get that out of Eugen though. That's my thing. And we're very close to that. I don't know, because it's either I do it or I don't do it, so we're YOLOing that one. Okay, I'll take the neutral. At least we make some headway, because we only have 2 more days after this one. And I might start to lose some dice, and I don't want to lose a dice. Because what sucks is I can't fix or even get rid of my stress while on a damn contract. Okay, that's fine. It could be worse. Back here. It's gonna be kind of up to me, unfortunately. This is where I wish I had Junie though, for sure, because she would have had a +2. So we're just stuck. And my push is not gonna help here because I can't get rid of this one. Gotta believe in the heart of the dice. I mean, if we fail, we can just try again. I'm not gonna give up the campaign for it. Okay. It's just this one. If I can use it, I don't want to use it on a danger though. Is there anything I can put this in to get rid of this? Yeah, I can't do anything here. Especially with 2 supplies left. I don't know what's after the rise. I feel like it's gonna be something. We're already 3 down, man. I may have to do a push on that one to get things going, so we'll see. Crossing my fingers. Okay. It's like I want to do a push because it's gonna put +4 to this one, and that's gonna make it a positive. Or I can risk it for the biscuits on this 3. I'm gonna do a push now. At least have a 50-50. Neutral, okay. Could have been worse. And I have to risk it for the biscuits. There we go. Unstable cipher. The unlocked door slides open as you use the cipher. Beyond it, a dark tunnel descends. Its roof a mess of bundled tubes and wires. Entering, you see a flickering light at its far end and hear the soft echo of raised voices. Eugen pats you on the shoulder. Into the snake's nest, he grins darkly. Let's see what they are plotting. You drift down the tunnel, keeping your limbs clear of the sides. Your passage through the air silent and gentle. You focus on the flickering light, the sound of the voices growing ever louder. As you descend through the tunnel, you notice a small, dark doorway, leading off before the tunnel reaches its bottom. You slow yourself gently, fingertips grazing the metal walls on either side. Glancing through, you see the doorway leads out onto a framework balcony, high on the wall of some dark room. You glance down to the bottom of the tunnel and hear the voices rising in volume. Here. Eugen nods at the balcony. Let's keep to the shadows. You come out onto the balcony overlooking a dark, cavernous room, lit in patches with a bright area at the end. It is filled with people, Utsubo forces, enforcers, and members, all facing forward, their floating bodies silhouetted by the pool of bright light ahead. And in that bright pool, 2 figures are arguing. You come to the edge of the balcony, a feeling of safety granted to you by both your elevation and the cover of darkness. Below, the entire room has its attention focused on the 2 figures in the pool of light. The watching audience keeping to the dark perimeter as if they were observing a piece of theater. You feel Eugen arrive beside you, his attention, like yours, on the scene below. These are my territories. You need to withdraw. One figure, their features hard to define in the pool of light, gestures at the other. There is no discussion to be had. A burly Utsubo warden, Orin. Yeah, I get that. The other figure laughs. Was it Daichi? Daichi. Vicious Utsubo warden. I see that right there. I don't think that's a comb. Is it a comb and a knife? I wouldn't put it past him. The other figure laughs. You're pathetic, Orin. The washgate is a joke, like you. He turns to the crowd and you see dark hair, dark eyes, and a smile like a slit. The dark-haired figure addresses the gathered crowd. Orin makes nothing from the washgate. All that freight, and he lets it slip by while he soaks up bribes. Jeering echoes around the crowd. He is stealing from you all. Daichi, you piece of shit. Orin spits, a glinting orb zipping past the other man. You have no respect. A few of the crowd enter the light, gathering behind one figure or the other. barely more than an enforcer and already dictating terms. If you had any idea what was happening in the passages, you know we've been facing sabotage and resistance across the wash gate. Oren shakes his head. Utsubo's control is under question. Sabotage and resistance, you quietly log the remark in your mind. Those are the people you have to find. Daichi smirks in response. I still know how it is in the passages, but you are getting soft, Oren. He glances around. You can't deal with some angry shop owners. He makes a show of his mocking laugh. It's easy to mock, but they are organized, and I am close to rooting out their meeting places. You wouldn't know where to start looking. If you say so, old man. In the end, it's only a matter of time before someone ambitious notices how weak you have become. Daichi draws a finger across his throat with a grin. The room erupts in shouts. Both sides call out insults, while others from the crowd air their own problems, some drifting into the light to heckle Daichi and Oren directly. Silence! A voice cuts through the room. Raised above all others, the noise drops. You lean forward to get a better view. Oh my god, Nkita! A woman holds her muscled arms in the air, a wide, strong posture of control, not surrender. Oh my gosh! Commanding Utsubo, Lieutenant. Come on, Nkita! Come on, girl! You were a mercenary, now you're doing this? Oh, this is not how I was supposed to meet someone from the first game. Both of you, she shakes her head, her long braid snaking through the air as she does. Enough. This is not how we do things. I hope she can be the one that we meet. If everything were to go down bad, I feel like she can help us, but I don't know where she's at in this time in her life. So the chaos is replaced by a disgruntled muttering. No one voice willing to rise above the murmur. Daichi floats to one side, arms coolly folded, while Oren fumes opposite him, his hands in tight fist. So, this is how the Star Ward conducts its business? She shoots hard looks across the room. Animals, fighting over scraps. Nkita, Oren eyes Daichi as he speaks. Daichi is the one disrespecting the leadership and the trust they have placed in. I said enough. Your weakness does not impress me, Oren. She turns to Daichi. And neither does your petulance, Daichi. Watch who you're calling weak, Nkita. As Oren narrows his eyes. You may be LAINE's favorite, but I have something that will change all that. He looks over the heads of the crowd. Bring him. A figure is dragged into the circle of light, their head low, a greasy tangle of dark hair drifting over their face. They lift a hand and slick it back out of their eyes. Marco, Eugen hisses from beside you, as Marco's pale face catches the light, gleaming with sweat. This one here has a very interesting story to share with us all. Oren gestures to the gathered crowd. I'm sure you are all aware of the bounty LAINE has put on the head of a very valuable escaped sleeper and their accomplices. Well, Marco here tells me, he smiles at Marco, whose eyes are fixed forward, squinting into the light, that same sleeper is right now on a freighter moored in the Washgate docks. Oh my god. We can't, oh my god. Okay. A ripple runs through the gathered crowd, a reflection of the value of this information. You wonder how much cryo is on your and Seraphine's heads. You look into Marco's eyes, attempting to see any indication of what this might be. A desperate bid to save himself? Or a betrayal of everything you agreed upon? His set stare reveals nothing. Now, LAINE himself will be returning in 3 cycles, and you can imagine how pleased he will be when I present the sleeper to him. Nkita stares at Oren. You had no business keeping this from me. She folds her arms. I will be the one to bring the sleeper in. Not so fast, Nkita. Oren turns to the gathered crowd. The first of you to bring me the sleeper will be given a share of Washgate. He shoots a look across the circle of light. That includes you, Daichi. The crowd erupts into shouts and movement, the assembled Tsubo members suddenly up and moving towards the doors. You push yourself into the corner of the balcony, tucking yourself into the shadows as you hear the tunnel filling with voices. There are shouts and scuffles, and you fear that any moment you will be discovered, but as time passes, the noise subsides. You only open your eyes when the sound disappears altogether. The Utsubo members on their way to your freighter, the freighter that is supposed to take you off Darkside. You feel the panic rising. You are trapped here once more. Eugen's heavy hand falls on your shoulder. We need to go, sleeper. He guides you towards the doorway. You ascend through the tunnel, silent, slow. Your eyes are on the entrance, hoping that no Utsubo member returns or enters, and then you are back out in the main passageway, blinking in the light of the fluorescent panels and gliding away from the entrance, lost in a daze. Well, this sucks. Somewhere in the rise, you eventually stop, not sure where you might be going, but needing to get away from what you just witnessed. You can't go back to the freighter. That much is clear, which means no supplies, no place to sleep. Then there's Marco. Was this always part of his plan? Or is this just him in survival mode? Your mind fills with questions and worries. The path ahead, unclear. We need to find somewhere to hide out. Eugen interrupts your thoughts, idling behind you in the passageway, until we can find a way off the station. His face is set in a grim frown, none of his usual humor present. But where? As he looks around, well, up here isn't bad. It's far enough away from the port. He eyes a few nearby doorways. There's got to be an abandoned unit among all these. Marco really screwed us over. Eugen punched a metal pan in a sudden burst of anger. Should have trusted my gut. Maybe he didn't have a choice? What does it matter? He should have kept his mouth shut. Any of us would have. You eye Eugen, remembering the first job you ran together and wondering how he would frame his own portrayal of Vesna, but you push the thought away, knowing now is not the time for it. Can you really leave this place without Marco? How would Seraphin react? If he actually has been caught by Utsubo, can you forgive him for giving into the pressure? You struggle to gather the same anger towards him as Eugen, perhaps because you have been where Marco is now, under Utsubo's control. What would you have done to escape? Who would you have given up? The bigger problem is how we get off this miserable station. I don't suppose you have any tips from last time you did it. You think of the last time you were here. The mad rush to the rig, barely conscious from the reboot, while Seraphin drags you through the seemingly endless corridors of the station. Let's take it one step at a time. I'll find a unit where we can squat. He drifts down the passage, checking doors. You take a moment trying to focus. Maybe you can find those resisting Utsubo. They could help you, though you wonder if they ever existed at all, given that Marco was the one who reported their existence to you and Seraphin. Was this whole thing a ploy to collect the bounty? To bring you to Darkside? If you search out Marco, perhaps he can answer you, for better or worse. But then you recall Oren's words, sabotage and resistance. If that was an honest plea, then there is some truth in what Marco said. Utsubo is being resisted. You try to gather yourself. You have to bounce back, to come up fighting. Otherwise, this place will drown you in its darkness. Supplies empty. Yeah, I got nothing. Oh, good. Good. All your supplies were aboard the freighter. Shopping is too great a risk. Stealing is the only way to eat and stay hidden. So I guess the risky is gonna be like stress on him then. I'll take it. I don't know if I want to risk a stress point on him, but I think that, yeah, that was only due to it being positive. So let's go to the abandoned unit. Plus stress, plus crew stress. Sheesh. Because there's no supplies. And I don't even have anything left. Almost could have got supplies, but it's okay. We're gonna have to just take one. I'm already at the halfway point here. It's about to wreck my dices. You wake in the cold of the abandoned unit to an unsettling quiet. The air cyclers whine, the heat diffusers hum, but nothing around you breathes. You are alone. You slowly raise yourself, unclip the straps from the bunk, and allow yourself to drift up into the air. Silence. And then in that silence you hear something, a scrape or scruff. It draws your eyes to the unit's doorway where a shape is settled into the dark. I knew you couldn't have gone far, and Kita shifts to fill the doorway. I am not going to engage. I'm going to stay still. Just calm yourself. She holds up both hands. Let's not cause too much damage. She raises an eyebrow. May I come in? She drifts to the doorway. We don't need any extra attention right now. You can't give me to LAine. Look, just shut up and listen. She drops her voice. I'm risking everything by coming up here, so don't make this any harder than it is. What you need to know is this. I am on your side. I want Darkside free, just like you. And I hate LAine just as much as you do. I just have different methods, that's all. As she raises an eyebrow, you might say better methods given how well your visit has gone. Why should I trust you? I'm the only person who can get you off of Darkside, so you better listen closely. As she hisses, it has taken me more cycles than you would believe to get this deep into Utsubo, and I'm not about to give it up for one escapee. But then LAine doesn't usually run all across the belt chasing a lone escapee, even a sleeper. She drifts a little closer, overshadowing you. So you need to tell me now, what does LAine want with you? Why are you so important to him? I don't know. I'm not playing games here. What you don't understand, Sleeper, is that I've been trying to keep you safe since I saw you arrive, but your friend hasn't made it easy. Getting yourself caught by Tsubo is bad enough, but then blabbing about you being here? I can only protect you from so much. Where's Marco at? I don't run the gang. He's Oren's. I can't risk starting an internal war. Either way, you are lucky you aren't in the same position, and you have me to thank for that. So I'll ask again. She meets your eye. Why is LAine pursuing you? She looks away in thought as you explain, and she waits for you to finish, as we tell her that my frame is changing. None of it makes sense, but there's no way I'm letting LAine get his prize, not until we understand more. She gives you a hard look. I can get you out, but I need a couple of cycles, and I need you to do something for me. You need to take this with you, off station. She produces a thumbnail drive and holds it up. This is everything I managed to scrape from within Tsubo. The key to challenging LAine is on here. I know it. Take it to Oliveira. It's tucked away in a crater in the shoals. That massive debris field beyond the hollow. She meets your eye. You give it to Carmen, no one else. Nikita presses the drive into your palm and closes your hand around it. No one but Carmen, you understand? I got it, Carmen, no one else. LAINE's rise has been cruel. He has split too much blood. When I'm ready, I will make him pay for that. But Carmen needs to analyze what I've got on him to find the right place and moment to strike. Nikita meets your eye. This is, I'm glad that she still has a good side of her. I actually thought that she was a bad one. I was like, come on. After the first game, girl? Come on. I knew a Sleeper once, and I should have trusted them. She lets go of your hand. So now, I'm trusting you. I'll get you out, and you deliver. That's the deal. And she cracks her knuckles. Then, together, we can... She spins sideways, slamming into the wall of the unit with a grunt. A few small globs of liquid glitter in the air. Run, Sleeper! He flexes his fist as he just hit Nikita with, I've got her. A shrill whine draws both you and Eugen's attention to Nikita. She is holding a boxy pistol at her waist, its side blinking with a pale indicator light. You haven't got shit. She reaches up and wipes a little blood from her temple, her eyes not leaving Eugen. One hell of a way to join a conversation, especially when I came to save you clowns. He looks at you questioningly, his guard still up. She's on our side. You sure about that, Sleeper? As he shoots her a sideways glance. Last thing I saw, she most definitely wasn't. I have to go, Sleeper. She glances between the two of you. You explain this whole thing to your friend if you want, but I won't be here when you do. 2 cycles. Be ready to leave. She backs out of the unit. When LAINE comes back, you go out. Neither of us wants him to win here. And a piece of advice, forget Marco. Keep your head down and wait for me. She raises a finger. You need supplies? Steal them in Flicker Row. Otherwise, keep to yourself. She gives you a hard look and slips out the unit. Did you hear that, Eugen? Did you hear that? The rise. What's here at the rise? Search the network. So this is us searching for Marco. Finding Marco. I would actually like to get supplies. Oh, I can't even do this. Wow, it's engage. That's crazy. That's so crazy. Okay, we got 2 days. That's all we need. And the rest goes into finding Marco. And we have 2 cycles to do it. I love that I have a +2 for Endure right now, because I need that. I need that. Please. Please. So I'm gonna run out of dice, because 1, 2, and 3, oh, I'm cooked. Nothing but cooked. I really would like to use Eugen here, but I don't know if I need more from him after. But it's such a 50-50, and it's gonna cause stress. I don't like that, so I will end a cycle. We're gonna come back, probably lose 3 of my dice, if not 2. I told you! You wake in the bare unit, cloaked in an endless shadow of Darkside. Outside the window, the lights of the city glitter, but you do not see them. Your attention is indeed on the tugging thread in your mind. LAINE drawing ever closer. You shiver. 1 more cycle, then you are out. Yep, see? I lost 2. Hey, I mean, this guy might be, he might be cooked. I'm not even gonna front here. He might be cooked. Let's see what we got. Though you have no specific memory of it, there is something unpleasantly familiar about the place you have found yourself in. Among the many stacked units of the Rise, framed by scaffolding and stretching away from Darkside's reflectors in a way that is only possible in 0G, you have found yourself in a cold corner. Here, a locked door is marked with the Tsubo's sigil, a single eel curled back on itself, its mouth around its own tail. This is the kind of door behind which Usobo keeps its secrets, its assets like you and Seraphim were, like Marco is now. Ooh, we can break the lock? And it's 100% positive? That's what I'm talking about. It's a door you have been watching, which is why you know there should be an enforcer lazily lent beside it, and why you know you only have moments before they come back. Break that lock. Ooh, -1 stress? I'll take that. You slip a shipbreaker's chisel from your belt pack and jam it into the lock, glancing over your shoulder as you try to force the mechanism. With a deft hand, you angle the chisel against the mechanism and, with a swift strike on the handle, the bolt pops off inside the lock. You slide the door open silently. You're in. A dim corridor stretches out ahead of you, lined with doors on either side. The memory hits you almost immediately. Long cycles between jobs in a cell like this, awaiting Laine's arrival. Kept safe. A lie that you believed when you were first brought to a place like this. Most of the cells are dark, empty, but a warm glow spills from around one of the doors. You quickly approach and look in. Marco is tucked into an inset berth, a padded niche like those in any unit. His back is turned to the small window in the door. You slam the exterior lock release without thinking, Marco turning over to face the door as it hisses open. Sleeper? He freezes for a moment, unsure of your intentions. He raises a hand as if to protect himself, to put something between you and him. You are lucky I'm here. He nods. Sleeper, he pushes himself up from the berth. He goes to speak and then stops himself. Let's just get out of here. You back out into the passageway and Marco follows slowly, tentatively. Time to leave. Lucky me. Daichi floats in the corridor, a knife glinting in his hand. I came to squeeze a little more information from Oren's prize here. He points the non-knife at Marco, but it looks like I just got everything I need. He closes the gap. Ooh, 100% positive? Now you stay still. I'd prefer to deliver you to LAine in one piece. Endure! Did it take no, it almost got me out of the 2. You feel the knife graze your side, slitting through your thick skin, but you swing your elbow anyway, connecting with Daichi's face as you spin. You feel the crunch of his nose, the solid metal of your skeleton meeting the pliant bone of his. Moments later, Marco and you are streaking through the passage of the Rise in a haze, the pain fading, but the fear holding strong, desperate to leave this place once and for all. Hey, refuse to leave Marco on the dark side. So we got an achievement for that. I mean, I'm cooked. Like, after this, we gotta go. I got no dice left to save anybody. And make it through Darkside Recon without getting caught. Nice. Marco rises from his berth quietly. You haven't really spoken. The two of you kept busy by your own injuries and the constant fear that Daichi will find you. But so far he hasn't, and if Akita is to be trusted, this is your final cycle on Darkside. You wait in silence, no one eager to speak. A deep fatigue has set in, and in this moment, all anyone can do is wait for this excursion to be over. She's here. Marco nods at the doorway, where a silhouetted figure waits. Akita looks at Marco, and then at you, a raised eyebrow, the only acknowledgement that you went against her advice. LAine is back on Darkside. We have to go now. She looks tired and angry. We won't have another chance. Come with me, quickly, quietly. She turns and pushes out into the corridor. He gives you a look. It's about time. Akita leads you across Darkside, not stopping to look back. The lights and passages flash by, but you barely notice them. All eyes are fixed ahead, on the way out. At some distant part of the station, Akita stops at a docking bridge. A small freighter visible through the viewing windows. She slaps the door release and it slides open. She grabs your shoulder, looking into your eyes. LAINE's focus will be on Darkside now. He needs to stop the infighting, to shore up Tsubo. If you get out now, he won't follow. Remember, she hisses the instructions to you. Get that drive to Oliveira, give it to Carmen, no one else, no matter what they say. Thank you. She simply nods and then she's gone, disappearing into the endless winding passages of Darkside. You drift gingerly down the docking tunnel, which leads into the cold and sparse cargo bay of the ship. Once you are inside, there is a hiss and the doors scissor shut. For a moment you panic, seeing no exit, no other doors, just a metal-walled bay. Is this a trap? But the engines rumble to life, and you give in to your exhaustion. If Ankita has tricked you, at least you are leaving this place behind. And you feel it. Cold fingers are reaching into your mind. You are so close, Laine's voice in your ear. You are here. A rustling, a shifting. I can't quite place you. Can't quite put my finger on you, sleeper, but I know you are there. What were you doing here? Hoping to confront me, perhaps? Or something else? A hiss. I'm right here, you coward. Come and find me. Relentless, cruel, and on your trail. I'll admit, I'm not quite ready for you, sleeper. A flicker and a spasm, but so soon this will be all over. A tone begins, a shrill and inescapable. Let me show you. The tone rises. LAine is in the bay of the freighter. The pull of constant acceleration, a comforting pressure against his chest. He looks around the bay, taking it in slowly. He inhales the stale air deeply. He feels power, feels pride. The sense of control over another excites him. This is his desire. He lifts his right hand and turns it in the air, flexing his fingers in a satisfying wave. Something flickers at the corner of your vision for a moment, and you strain to turn LAINE's head. It does not turn, but you swear you see a figure there in the bay with you. A thought, not yours. It's not your thought, though. It opens a mouth as if to speak, as if to scream, and then it is gone. A smile grows on LAINE's face, a spreading tightness that has its own impulse. He raises one hand and uses it to grip the smallest finger of the other. A pause and then a sudden jerk. He snaps the finger back against the joint. His pain is instant, and as is yours, it burns your vision away. When the white-hot blindness has faded, you look out on those same metal walls. You hold the same finger in your hand, and as you release it, you see the crooked shape it has been bent into. A shiver runs through you, and you reach back into your own mind to see if any trace, any fragment of LAINE remains there. You put your hands on your face and push, as if to push him out from your head. The ship continues out on its starward arc, away from Darkside, away from LAINE. But you can't help but feel that some part of him is still there, behind your eyes, concealed beneath the pain of that snapped finger. Damn. It takes a long time before you are ready to discuss everything at the rig. First, there was a journey to the yard, then disembarking from the freighter, then explaining to the waiting crew why their ship was impounded, something Marco offered 1,000 apologies for. Thankfully, the crew of the ship that brought you out of Darkside, sent by Ankita, took the others aside and settled them. Through the promise of remuneration or the threat of violence, you aren't sure, but you expect they will leave together for Darkside soon. You do your best to explain your encounter with Ankita to your crew, but the mention of her name sets off a significant reaction in Bliss. It seems the two have history, a relationship that fell apart. Bliss removes themselves from the conversations. Later on, you find them in the berths, staring at the wall. The whole time you find yourself in a daze. Your skin hurts and your muscles tremble. You don't feel yourself. You rest for a while. And as you do, conversations echo around you until you find yourself able to rise. Sleeper, Marco comes to you in the quiet of the rig. Can we speak a moment? Go ahead. Just go ahead, bro. Go. He nods. Thank you, Sleeper. He looks down. I know I almost cost you everything, but you have to understand something. When they caught me, I was looking for someone important to me. That was why I wanted to come with you. I just wanted to get a message to him and to know that he was all right. He screws up his face, each word bringing him pain, and I admit, I thought I might be able to bargain on his behalf to get us both out. Bargain using my life? Marco can't bring himself to confirm it, but you both know it to be true. All I can say is, I'm sorry. Look, you can use the yard when you get back to the scatter yards. There are some components in there. Take what you want. I'm going to stay here a while. He does not meet your eye. He simply turns away and drifts down the corridor. As he does, Seraphim passes by him, receiving no acknowledgement. My boy is back together. Look at my boy. He's back. He's back. Troubled, stubborn, and on the run. Wow. Yo, this is a true playboy. Come on, man. Come on, bro. My boy got the white hair. I don't know why you got the sides cut like you do. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we could have done something a little better for you. You know what I'm saying? Because, come on, my boy. Come on. He gives you a questioning look as Marco leaves. What happened out there, Sleeper? He floats there, stretching his scarred arm, the protective sleeve he has been wearing since the far spindle finally removed. I don't know if I want to start with Marco betrayed us. We found the resistance. Marco betrayed us. What do you mean? He told Utsuba where to find me. No, that can't be. It's not that I don't believe you, but Marco hates Asubo. He's come through for me so many times. I never thought. I'll talk to him. A grim look on his face. I'll get the full story. He looks down. I'm sorry I wasn't there, Sleeper. I should never have let Marco go instead of me. It's okay. Never again. He looks up. Tell me it was worth it, Sleeper, that you got something on Asubo. You explain about the meeting you witnessed, the conflict between Orin and Daichi, and Nikita's intervention. Explaining Ankita takes a little more effort, but you try to remember everything that happened. You explain Ankita's insistence that she was working against Darkside and how she got you off the station. You explain that Tsubo itself is coming apart with LAine absent, and that this will draw his focus away from the two of you. See, Seraphim waits until you have finished to respond. So, this Ankita got herself inside Tsubo. He raises an eyebrow just to try to break their grip on Darkside. He takes some balls. You explain the drive, mention Oliveira, Carmen, and then hold up the thumbnail drive, the one Ankita entrusted to you. Oliveira. I've heard of it, maybe once or twice. I just assumed it was some backwater colony. Never met a Carmen, though. What's on that thing? She didn't say. I don't get it. We just deliver this little mystery drive and that's all? He looks away deep in thought. Is that what you want to do next? Oliveira. You've never even heard of it, but it seems like the place to go if you want to help Ankita fight back against LAine. You look at the drive, and as you do, you can't help but feel you are being used, not for the first time. One thing I will say, Seraphim begins, clearly thinking out loud. If we want to head back to Darkside, take on LAine, we are going to need to do so on our ship this time. Some crews get spoofs transponders, send out a sail matching another ship, he shrugs. Not going to get one fitted here, but that's something we need to look out for. Sure, you think. Go back to Darkside, where LAine waits. A shudder of fear runs through you, thinking of the moment he slipped into your mind on the freighter. If you ever go back there, you know you'll need something to counteract him. But you also recall Overseer's presence in that moment too, his strange form holding its shape as LAine tried to override your control. Perhaps Overseer has a way for you to resist his signal. I hope so. Your mind whirls with possibilities and problems. Is this really the right move? To go back to the place that almost killed you twice? To take on LAine? Seraphim looks at you expectantly. What are you thinking, Sleeper? What if we leave the system? You want to run? He looks down. I know that the past cycles must have been hard, that I wasn't there, but leave Helion? I don't know if I can do that, Sleeper. Tala's here, and as he trails off, you think of what it might feel like to leave this place behind, to throw away responsibility, to forget LAine, and to set out towards something new. The thought alone lifts you, freezes you in place with closed eyes and shaking hands. I know it's different for you, Sleeper. If you can find a way to make the rig fit for interstellar travel, a fraction drive, better hull, a crew, and pilot willing to go, then who am I to stop you? He looks at you with a pained expression. It's not what I want, but you don't owe me anything. It's your future. Look, Sleeper, he places a hand on your shoulder. We aren't done yet. Either way, we need to prepare. We need to work. We need a crew. And he starts counting off his fingers, and we need you strong. Speaking of, he takes out a box of components. I kept myself busy these past cycles, working in the fabricator bays on the scatter yards. I figured you could use some spares. So first, we rest. I'm starving. Hey, I see that 4. So let's do a boost on, since I do have someone, I don't know if I want to go interface or intuit or intuition, I guess. Because sometimes intuition comes up, but maybe interface. I'll go interface this time. We'll almost be done with that one, and then we'll go down into it afterward. Can a brother get a meal? He is starving. Okay. There's Cadet's workshop, but let's fix ourselves back up, shall we? Ooh. And I can make some components. I might as well just use this one here. Sure. Thank you. Because this is how I can make these, I think it's the rare components or the engine components, I think. I need 8 of those. Odd jobs. Let's scavenge for fuel or actually source supplies. Actually, hang on a second. I say source supplies, but yard supply, I can just fill this all up. Fill the fuel. And Give us supplies. I'm not playing around here. I got over 600 cryo. Shoot. Okay. And then for this engine, I need 8 components. So I guess that's part of an ending where you can run. And then we can have food, right? Oh yeah, I forgot even to work on this for food. So we can do that too. So let's end the cycle. The darkness falls around you, and you know what comes next. Sleeper. The multi-part image of Overseer assembles itself in front of you. You must intervene in your current course. Intervene in what? The opening of your systems has breached a new paradigm. You are dangerously exposed. The voice is somehow both soundless and shrill. As we are sharing your hardware, that means we too are fatally exposed. The individual agent you encountered, we were almost completely erased by their attempts to seize control. Overseer's 3 heads nod eagerly in agreement. It's LAine. We have knowledge of this name from your memory banks. There is much of interest to us recorded there, though often partially and inconsistently. Overseer whirs unsettlingly, but yes, we can confirm LAine's role in this vulnerability. It is our understanding that the assumption of inevitability is incorrect. Overseer glows with bright veins of data, but in this state, we cannot operate with full functionality. If we were to be recompiled in our correct configuration, we believe we will be able to calculate a new path. Our aim would be to close the vulnerabilities and reinforce your systems against future intrusion. This would ensure our safety within your system. 3 sets of eyes lock onto you. Would this also please you? You can stop it? Correct. Overseer stutters like a glitched animation. Correct. Our expertise was in total system maintenance and security, beyond our administration and navigation capabilities. We were built to do this. At least, this is what we understand. Without being recompiled, we are aware of these capabilities but cannot access them. This is so cool. I love how they're just tackling this. Oh, I like this. The 1, 2, 3 parts for the whole. I guess maybe we're gonna bring them all back together and we're gonna have the true Overseer. It's gonna be cool. We are confident to a substantial degree that we will know how to complete the process once recompiled. The 3 heads nod, one to the other. Then recompile. The heads revolve thoughtfully for a moment. Without our originating codebase, we cannot recompile. If you were able to speak with a Solheim systems engineer, perhaps lead engineer Jakob Kandinsky, perhaps we could acquire it? The heads stare at you expectantly, like 3 partially deconstructed puppies. Solheim is gone. Yes, the heads nod repeatedly. Of course. They continue nodding. We were, of course, aware of this. You look at the fragmented program, its self, its systems, unstable and broken. You realize it is far worse off than you, and its collapse is almost inevitable. How could it possibly save you? It is a difficulty. Overseer flicks between poses, but all code bases are held in centralized Solheim facilities. They are Station AE1, the Con Channel Operations Center, and the Control Center of the HabPep, or Helion Asteroid Belt Photovoltaic Extraction Project. Overseer smiles helpfully. HabPep? Is that Darkside? Overseer immediately latches onto the thought. Based on your memory banks, we believe so. Correct. It occurs to you that this entire conversation is happening within your head. It is an unsettling feeling. Darkside is a city now. This is true, but its foundation is the HabPep itself. As Overseer chirps brightly, we understand that the individual seeking to overwrite you is stationed in the HabPep itself. Overseer's 3 heads separate and then turn inward as if in conference. The shattered heads turn simultaneously, unsettling in the directness with which they address you. But if you could access the HabPep mainframe without making yourself known, we could reconstruct ourselves and gain the ability to reconstruct you. Theoretically, one of the heads adds. Theoretically, the other 2 heads confirm. With that, I mean, hey, this is all we have, so let's just see. Would that protect me from LAine? Theoretically. I love that. In theory, or theoretically, the heads confirm once again. The reassurances of a delusional Solheim protocol are barely reassuring, but if Overseer is correct, this may be your only option. We feel your doubt. but we must impress on you the importance of this. Please. Overseer's eyes flash, all 6 of them, if not for your sake, for ours. If you cannot find your way to the Hat Pet before encountering this LAine, you will surely be overwritten, and we would also share your fate. We would not like this to happen. You sigh. Exhausted from the conversation, Overseer gets the message. We will leave you to recharge, but please consider the path ahead. You come back to the ragged paneling of the bunks. Somewhere behind your left eye, the ache begins. You envy Overseer for its lack of a body and the pain it causes, but then suddenly you wonder if in sharing your body, it shares your pain too. The thought makes you pity the broken protocol, its sense of time and place shattered. Perhaps you share more than you would like to admit. The path ahead begins to take shape. It seems a return to Darkside is inevitable, but you will need help to make that return. Okay. So we have, besides repaint the rig, we have contact Carmen, which we need to get him a drive, and then help Cadet crack the drive. That's while we're here at the scatter yards, but I don't see another one for finding that I don't see one finding that engineer. So we'll figure it out. It's gonna probably pop up along the way. Did I not? You didn't let me rest, huh? Oh wait, I have a 1. Yikes. I don't have a plus. Oh wait, hold up. Let's go back. Let's stop. This is what I should have done in the first place. Let us fix ourselves. Looks like we're gonna have a glitch dice. So that's gonna cost scrap components, but it's better than using up all of my, at least 2 of those will be done. I mean, glitch is already out. It's already maxed out, so. And then now I will use the rare components to fix the rest. I at least want to help with the scatter yards here though. Plus I have this 1. I don't want to use this 1 on it. Let us go to sleep, and I guess odd jobs for cryo, because just got nothing but just collect more money. Ah, the glitches. Let's use those on, I think it's under the monks. This is how I can kind of get rid of those glitches. You think I'm going to use them anywhere else? Please. Yeah, there we go. We got rid of that. Let's go and... So Cadet's Workshop is 1, but I at least want to complete this. Good. So now we have 6 engine components. I'll go and put 1 over here for to break the encryption. Let's just see where we get with this, and then we can more than likely end the episode for the day. Let's complete our stuff here, because at least we're not being chased. He's basically busy now, so actually this is the perfect time to get a meal. Fill that up all the way to the front. There we go. This is crazy though. Mm-hmm. 2 glitches instead of that. So let's use the glitches here, because 20% or 80%, please. You think I'm gonna use that on anything? I'd rather just use a regular 2 or a 1. Give me at least a 50-50 chance. All right, let's do... I'm gonna use these 2 to hopefully make one. I'm gonna still put 1 here for her. I think the +1, yeah, it'll only make it a 2, which will still be a 50-50, which I think it's just energy or neutral. I'll put it there, might as well. Oh, nice. Luck is on our side there. So let's go back to the rig, sleep, and we can finally continue the story with her. And Seraphin can go talk to Marco because that guy said, yeah, no. He tried to betray me. All right, give me this. Give me this. All right. And that makes, what's that giving us? Rare components? I thought I was building engine components though. Hang on, let me see that real quick. Oh, is it because of the errors? And that's why? Let me double check that. So if it has like a half, it's just a rare component, but not a full on. Let me see. I'm trying to see something. Ah, gotcha. Because it has to be positive outcomes. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Boo. Actually, you know what? I might as well try. I'm curious at what it'll do. Okay, I tried. I actually wanted to use that dice. I don't know, 80% of the time you're gonna fail. So we live and die by good old RNGesus. So let's get a meal. Let's make yeah, I see what's going on here. Okay, let's make one more and we'll have enough engine components to upgrade the ship. So I was wondering, I was like, I'm not getting anything, and I saw I was getting like rare components. There we go. So let me go back to the rig. Let's go to the engine. Let's increase the ship's range. +5 fuel capacity. Nice. Nice. We can travel farther, stronger, faster. Harder, better. No, I'm sorry. Anywho, let's get some food and let's finish this up here. Yay. Let's continue that side mission with Cadet. Cadet catches your eye as you look over at her. What is it? She takes the end of the metal chopstick she had been chewing on out of her mouth. Got something? Cadet had given up already for the cycle, and while you were cracking the drive's complex encryption on her friend's workstation, she had been floating in the middle of the small workshop, pinging bits of scrap off the shelving on the wall. Now, she spins in the air and pushes off from the ceiling, spinning as she glides so she lands perfectly behind you, leaning over the terminal screen. As she does, you hit a key, executing the final decryption process. Slick. She goes to ruffle your hair, but you don't have any. Instead, she just wobbles your head playfully. What we got? She's cool, in my book. With Cadet hanging over your shoulder, you try to concentrate on the data spooling across the screen. The first thing that catches your eye is the steady repetition of CWEXT, an identifier for Conway Extractions, the behemoth conglomerates currently waging a corporate war with Senate-Stat in the inner system. Why Conway? What is this data? You stop to scroll, looking for details. Hit that thing. Cadet pokes the screen, making it wobble. You dutifully click. A comment expands on the code, a note left by someone. It mentions tests and protocols, discusses reverse engineering and carrier signals. You close it and find another, drone latency, another, security bypass, one more, kill switch. It takes a long time, you and Cadet squinting into the blue screen to build up a picture of what you are looking at. When you are done, both of you sit back, your eyes sore and your minds clogged with technical terminology. Shit, Cadet shakes her head. They were dissecting it live. She was referring to the Conway drone mine this stream of data was scraped from. Huge volumes of internal data of control systems, protocols, and passphrases. The kind of data you imagine was closely guarded by Conway, kept secret to allow the smooth operation of its drones. This thing, it's some kind of general or manager, right? Giving orders out to all the little drones that work for it? Cadet squints. I always thought Conway controlled its drones remotely, with people, those zero latency point interfaces you hear about. From what you know, Cadet is right. Conway is known for their novel solution to the scale and logistical problems of the surrogate systems, extraction and security drone strips, piloted from light years away with proprietary comms interfaces. A drone mind. What this code is scraped from should be a kind of distributor, a relay for the local drones that links to the closely guarded transmitter/receiver. But this data suggests otherwise. It suggests an active cognitive process, far more complex than any protocol you have heard of. A thinking machine. Artificial intelligence. Look, as Cadet jabs at the screen again. Is that? You see a line in the data stream that reads simply, "Stop, get out, stop, get out, stop, get out, stop, get out." How did they do this? Cadet leans back. Everyone knows captured Conway drones purge themselves and everything else is in the couple of square clicks around them when captured. You rip the control core out of one, sure, you can disassemble it, but its system will be gone. This one was still running when they took it apart. It should have gone up like a tactical nuke the moment they started. She stops suddenly. Oh, it should have gone up like a tactical nuke the moment they started, and she stops. The fate of Hexport jumping into her mind. Is that what happened? But how did they get all this and get it out on a drive? Silence fills the workshop. You look back to the screen, unsure of the answers to Cadet's questions. You feel a deep chill, one that you know has nothing to do with the temperature of the workshop. Who the hell was doing this? Cadet scans the code once more. I'm gonna try it. Let's go. Hey! You go back over the data. It's scrubbed clean. Not a mention of who is scraping the data. You go over it again. Nothing. Not a single clue. The thought starts a process in your mind. Who scrubs data this clean? Who wants Conway drone protocols? Senate stat? Or is that too simple, too obvious for it to be Conway's lone opponent in this system-wide war? It's a possibility, so you say it out loud. Yeah, that'd be my first guess too, but it's still a guess. We've been at this too long. As Cadet sighs, I'm cooked. She pushes away from the terminal and floats in the room, stretching out her aching back. We know they had this drone mine on Hexport. That's where they were cutting it, scraping it. We know something happened and Hexport went up. She sketches her thoughts out in the air with hand gestures as she summarizes. The data got out on that drive. I'm assuming before the explosion, they got to the far spindle. Someone tried to courier it, using me, but the receiver wasn't there. She turns and looks at you, which is when they ruined my life and my job trying to get it back. This data is valuable, that's for sure. Imagine taking control of all those drones, turning them away or towards any target you wanted. She floats over to the drive and picks it up. This thing is the only way to buy my life back. She frowns at it. The way I see it, we have to expose these fools so they leave me be, or give them the data so they piss off forever. We can't give them this. Not if we don't know who they are. She laughs half-heartedly, but yeah, we can't. All the roads lead in one direction, I'm afraid. She spins the drive in the air, back home. Hexport. If there's anything to confirm or deny this data, if there's anything to connect to it, if there's anything left at all, it'll be in the remains of that station. I had a feeling it might come to this, so I made some inquiries when I first got here. The word is that the place is irradiated to hell, but I've also heard the radiation is fading, and it's not like half the belt isn't glowing anyway. She shrugs grimly. With suits, we'd have maybe a few cycles before it starts to leak through. The problem is getting in. She puts the drive back on the desk's magnetic surface. Far spindle is a no. Not only do I not want to get picked up there, but the debris is denser on that side. No safe way in. Darkside is the best bet. She shakes her head, but I heard you have some trouble waiting for you there. What if I deal with the trouble? Then we have a clear shot at it. She shrugs. Easier said than done. This place has one hell of a stowaway spot, shielded from everything. Plus the scatter yards are no one's territory. I'm gonna leave the drive here. She squints at you. No pinking. But me? I want to keep moving. So I was thinking I could make myself useful till you shake that trouble in Darkside. She smiles. Work for room and board and all that. You want to come with me? Yeah, professionally speaking. What do you say? She folds her arms. You know I'm tough, and I can do plenty besides ride an air bike. You're in. This is what we wanted. That's the answer I was looking for. Cadet scans the workshop. I've had enough of spacer bathrooms for a lifetime. I'll make myself at home on your rig. She picks up the drive and tucks it in a pocket. She glances away at the racks on the wall, and you follow her eyes to spot her air bike where it is hanging, carefully secured and pristinely kept. She gives you a hard look. You better have room for my bike. Hey, recruit cadet to your crew. I love it. I guess. Looks like we have everything we need now. Like we got all of, oh, we don't have fuel. Let me fuel up. We will fuel up. We will also work this fabricator bit real quick. I don't know, maybe we can sell that engine component down the road, you know? Don't know if we need more. But yeah, this is really good. We hit a major point. We know to go to Oliveira, which, where is that on the map actually? Is this Oliveira? Wow, we can get to it in one go. Ooh, look at that. Can't get to there, obviously. We can't, yeah, we can't get there. It's radiated, but we can get to Flotsam, but not Holmes Rock. But yeah, this is really nice. We could just drive straight all the way over there. Look at that distance. But okay, I think this is a good time to put an end to this episode. We at least accomplished a lot. LAine has apparently like the control bit piece. That's very crazy. I'd like to hear y'all's comments on that on the YouTube side of things, so feel free to go to Uncle Burnsy, leave me a comment on what you think is going to probably happen next. No spoilers though if you already are ahead, but very crazy with LAine and how he can control me. But we have AI, actual AI, not what we talk about today, helping us on that front. And now we have a little bit of a crew, so next time we'll probably work on the contacting Carmen, and then this investigate Hexport bit. This seems to be something that we're going to have to do after we deal with LAine. So I don't know what's going to happen after LAine, like if I have time to do stuff, but hopefully we can also work on repainting the rig as well. But otherwise, thank you all for you know, coming over here, checking us out over here. So follow us, Uncle Burnsy, both at you know, follow us, Uncle Burnsy, on YouTube. Please follow or subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitch, and follow me on Blue Sky too. Having a little bit of fun over there as well. So otherwise, thank you all. Have a great time, and peace from your favorite uncle, Uncle Burnsy.